presentación.
Good morning. Here I am with Sir Alexander Graham Bell, born in March 3, 1874. How are you, Sir Graham Bell?
Fine, thank you. Thank you for an invitation.
It's a pleasure to have you here next to me, and thank you for sharing us some of your time. For the ones that don't know, he's one of the greatest scientists today. What was your first invention?
You know, it's a funny story because when I was around 12 years old, my family got a meal. You know, it was a really beautiful meal, but it doesn't work as I wanted to work. The efficiency, it wasn't enough for me. So I made a paddle design that makes it efficient even duplicate. So it was my first invention and helped all my family.
It's incredible to see how you were a farmer and you convert in the one of the biggest scientists of the history. What inspired you to do this?
Well, many things, you know, my family, my brother, well, the many of the moments that I got in my career.
Um, did you ever have a challenge that you have to overcome?
Oh yeah, I got a lot of challenges in my career, but I think the really first one and the one I most enjoyed was when my brother and I reconstruct uh, a model of a head, of a human head.
Did you reconstruct? Oh, like inside and outside, like the eyes,
Oh
the
yeah,
nose.
that was the difficult part. My brother made the larynx and the vocal cords, and what I made was the brain and the skull. This was made for a model to doctors have a better idea of the human body.
So your brother and you work like a scientist team.
Yeah, for calling it in a way. It was really funny to work with my brother, you know.
Um, and did you ever fall in love?
Oh yeah, I got a wife and three beautiful sons. They helped me a lot in my career. They inspired me. Deciding as my wife. They even my wife helped a lot in the invention of the telephone because I was asking myself how it is possible that if I travel to another part, I just can't communicate with my wife. That's the thing I can't understand, so I created telephone.
So you actually was searching for a way to communicate from long distances.
Exactly, and a simpler way for calling in.
And what did inspire you to create this wonderful invention that now is so famous?
Well, you know, I like working a lot with sound. I love working with electricity. I love working with mechanics. So first that, and then also the great search for a better way of communication and a simpler way of communication.
Um, so, um, so what, what do you think about the the unfortunately death of your brother?
Well, it's something really difficult, you know, to still living with it, to continue living with it, because he was one of my best friends. He inspired me a lot. He helped me with many of my work. So it's difficult to continue my life without him.
Mm. So, um, I heard a conspiration that you were having a disease or something like that. I think it was diabetes.
Diabetes, yeah. Well, the doctor says it's nothing really problematic, in this moment. I think I could manage it for some time. But well, you know, I gonna enjoy my life.
Um, do you think it's possible to do something with your science and to like uh, cure your diabetes?
Well, sorry, but I'm an engineer. I'm not a doctor. You
Well,
better ask a doctor about that. You know, I'm just having faith of the doctors.
I think there are some things science cannot control, like
Exactly. That's a problem, but I'm gonna tell you a really interesting story. When I was, well, when I created the telephone, you know, I go to this location for selling my invention, for making it famous, for making it to people can use it, and they say that the telephone is something that is gonna, well, it's nothing. The telephone was nothing. They say that there is just a more invention that there's gonna be anything interesting in human story. You know, like they say that my invention was anything important.
and it's incredible to see how this this invention has developed in these years, and I think um, I think that you never give